I prepare? What do I need? I'm excited. Here's my best 5 steps, okay? And I took time this morning to give this to you before coffee, so I hope you enjoy this. Here's how you prepare for your certification. First thing I do in order. Number 1, review the docs checklist. Every single organization has, before you start, here's the documentation you need. I guarantee this is gonna help you out. Before you do anything, before you hit start, they have a whole section on print this. Do print it. By the way, when this conversation is over today, I'm going to go add it in our group because I have WBENC's list of documentation, and I took the time to explain what each documentation looks like and what it means. But do yourself a favor. Before you start, review the checklist, print the checklist for the certifying body. And here's a pro tip. Make a note of the support line contact. Make a note of it early. Because once you get in the thick of it and you get frenzied and you're like, oh my God, I got stuck or I don't know this, right? Do it up front. That's my first tip. The second tip is gather and compile your docs, both in a local desktop folder, also a Google Drive, and then also email. Dawn Nicole, why you got me doing all this? Let me explain. It's going to help you. Why are you doing it on a local desktop folder? Why are you doing it on a local desktop folder? Because that's where you work. Where you work and where you store things are 2 different things, ladies. Now, somebody, I'm not going to say her name, she prefers Google Docs, right? But more than likely, a lot of the data that she already needs is already on her desktop. So it's much easier to just move things over in your desktop folder. So I would say for your working folder for this purpose, start with a desktop folder. And then after you have everything, move it to Google, right, to store it and save it. And then also have it in your email. Now, why am I telling you to have it in your email? I can't tell you how many times I was out in public networking and the company, the organization hit me back and said, hey, we need this real fast. And I was like, oh my God, right? Luckily, I saved it in I had an email folder. I said, here you go, right? Here's my 1099s. Here's my proof of, right? Make it easy for yourself. The goal is to finish. You got to set yourself up for success. Number 3, make notes of any gaps of missing documentation and start the inquiry process immediately. That means when you look at your documentation list, ladies, if there's something missing, handle that first. Why am I telling you that? That's going to take you the time. Here's the best practice. When you're doing these applications, you should be giving yourselves 10 days to gather, 20 days to submit. You won't even, so this is how you get to a 30-day cycle. 10 days for gathering. And you need to act like life depends on it. Like, watch out, I'm in gather season. I'm in gather mode. If you don't give yourself this type of goal, you will allow and enable yourself to prolong and delay, and your certification will not get done. Don't do that to yourself. Give yourself a time box. Tell yourself, when I start this, 10 days for gather mode and 20 days for submit mode, and I'm hot as fire if I could finish it before. But do give yourself that goal. Any questions on this before we move on?